A flight from Sweden to Las Vegas is how many ever $100, and there's thousands of people that arrived early for UFC 232. And there's thousands and thousands of people that have booked flights and made reservations and think about all the money that these MMA fans will lose. These hotels in Las Vegas are not giving a refund. If you book a flight, they're not going to give you your money back because Dana White, is an unethical piece of shit. Dana White has screwed the UFC. He puts all his eggs in one basket. It's all got to be Conor McGregor. It's all got to be all John Jones. It's all got to be Ronda Rousey. Dana White's own mother. I'll tell you, Dana White's a piece of shit. What's going to happen? There's going to be a class action lawsuit against the UFC and Dana White because changing the location of this event, these people have to book flights or rent cars to Los Angeles. And a lot of them's just going to go home, and the ones that do it are going to have this hurts the UFC. This hurts the UFC more than Conor McGregor hurt the UFC, more than Khabib hurt the UFC. Dana White, this right here, by doing this bullshit right here, Dana White did not follow the NSAC's protocol. And Khabib and Conor McGregor, they still have to face the NSAC. And Conor McGregor, he's done a lot of bad shit. And this has a bad taste. And this leaves a bad taste in the mouth of the NSAC. See, Dana White was directing the NSAC. Khabib shouldn't get more than a year. And, talking about the NSAC withheld their purse, but actually the commissioner said he would have withheld Conor McGregor's purse. And Dana White stated in several interviews that the NSAC was withholding their purses. But the commissioner, one of the commissioners for the NSAC said that Conor McGregor already had his money. Dana White knew that Brock Lesnar was dirty when he fought Mark Hunt. And Dana White knew that Anderson Silva was dirty when he fought Nick Diaz. See, Dana White has influence. He has certain influences over the NSAC, and he has influences over certain things. But by not following the NSAC protocol and just packing it up and going to Las Vegas, this is a power thing. This is a power thing. It's not to save John Jones' career. Dana White, he went in there, guarantee you, Supercase guarantee you, Dana White told the NSA, say, fuck it, it's nothing. It's a nano this and that. He got that lawyer talking for him. Listen, 15 months ago, it was a nano something. Kenny Florian saying the same garbage. It was a grain of sand, a grain of sand, hardly, just a micro something. Wouldn't have done him any good. It was such a tiny amount. 15 months later, same thing. He still got a tiny amount, and Kenny Florian still talking the bullshit. A grain of sand. Dana White's got his lawyer talking, but moving all the, screwing these people. That's what it's doing. It's screwing these people. It's screwing the MMA fans from Sweden. And how much is it for an airplane ticket from Brazil? How much is that? And then they got to pack up and do their shit, and all the fighters are getting screwed. And for what? For what? Is it for Dana White? Is it for Dana White's power play, or do you think it's for, what the fuck is it? The NSAC thinks it's important enough to have a meeting with John Jones. That's all they asked, is to have a, we want to meet with John Jones. And Dana White's acting like, oh, they can't do this and that before, so we're having to move it. That's bullshit. The NSAC simply said we want to meet with John Jones. That's it. And they advised him to be tested under another organization just to double check, and John Jones said no. This is bullshit. And this is a power play between Dana White and the NSAC. And Dana White's gonna lose, and the UFC's gonna lose, and this is a boom for the UFC. This is destruction for the UFC pay-per-view. Pay-per-view that shouldn't be pay-per-view. And everything hinged on one damn fighter. And if this guy pulls out, it's happened too many times. It's happened too many damn times. It's garbage. That DC versus Lewis, that was trash. Derek Lewis had internal injuries. He may not have looked like, he was fucked up on the outside, but on the inside, he was fucked up. That Russian pounded on his ass, and he had internal injuries. Dana White give a shit. He give a damn about fighter safety. He give a shit. He give a damn. And he tried to direct the UFC, went ahead and gave Conor McGregor his check and withheld Khabib's. And then tried to suggest and direct the NSAC that Khabib shouldn't get more than a year, but leaving out the part that Conor McGregor had assaulted someone, and Conor McGregor had already gotten his check, and him and Conor McGregor's criminal behavior leading up to that. It was all left out, and it was all put like it was Khabib did something to Dylan Dennis, and it's all misdirecting the focus of what Conor McGregor and Dana White did. They pulled that stunt. They damn sure planned that shit. One person with Khabib waited till they got on the bus. Did you know that TSA 42 of Conor McGregor's friends, mates, associates were not allowed into the United States when he fought Khabib? They didn't allow him to enter the United States. It was 42. And several of them were known mafia guys, known to be. And those brothers that's got 60-something convictions between them, they were denied to come into the United States. See, they would have all those types would have been with Conor McGregor that day. They would have been with Conor McGregor that day. Criminals. TSA stopped them. See, Dana White leaves all that out. Dana White has run the UFC by doing this right here. He's destroyed it. A pay-per-view is garbage. It's trash. And see, if everything wasn't just hinged on one fucking fight, it's all hinged on one fight, and if that don't work out, it blows the whole shit and all that, and it's a bunch of garbage. All these events, Vegas is sick of the UFC. The fans are sick of the UFC, and they're sick of Dana damn White. They sick of Dana motherfucking White, and the damn rankings are manipulative garbage. The rankings are based on the opinion of the dick-riding press. And it's a popularity contest, and you got people, Conor McGregor fought one time and lost in 2 years, and that son of a bitch is ranked number 2. See, and it's all Dana White controlling the rankings, and he's such a piece of shit. Ask his mother, and she'll tell you straight up, Dana White is no good. She'll tell you straight up. Dana White's garbage. He's run the UFC. He's just running the UFC. Dana White needs to step down immediately, WME needs to fire Dana White for this. They need to distance themselves from Dana White as John Kavanaugh and Coach Roddy has distanced themselves from Conor McGregor, and just let Dana White and Conor McGregor just go off in the woods and just, have at it with each other. Piss on them. Piss on Dana White. Look what he's done. Look what he's done. If he had followed the NSAC protocol and John Jones had met with the NSAC and done some explaining or done the testing or cooperate, see, it's a power play. It's a power play, and Dana White's he's gonna lose. Dana White does not own the UFC. Dana White is a shit president of the UFC. He went from being promoted. Lorenzo Fertitas, he was a businessman, and he ran the UFC like a business. Dana White is his promoter. And now he's the president, and he's a bitch. He's a metro type bitch, and he got bitch feelings, and he's got some kind of issue about power and and he's going to come up short against the NSAC. He's going to come up short against the NSAC, and hopefully the NSAC will stick it to Conor McGregor's ass. Will stick it to Conor McGregor's ass even harder. And Dana White has made this all about it's a power play. Obviously, he has told the NSAC, he's tried to bend their arms, and they have twisted their arms, or whatever has happened, and they have told him to fuck off, and they've told him the protocol. See, when it was come to, about Khabib, the NSAC, the protocols, always about what the NSAC says. When it come to DC and John Jones and all that, before previously, the NSAC, see, he don't want to burn. This is more than fucking up a main event. This is fucking up the UFC. This is a power play for Dana White's personal bull. Something is going on here. It's a bigger picture going on here to do this. There's a bigger picture, because Dana White, he doesn't give a shit about John Jones. He gives a shit about anyone but Dana White. Dana White is an egomaniac, just like Conor McGregor. Both of these son of a bitches are self-destructing. Except for Dana White is doing it in a way where he is going to destroy a huge company. Conor McGregor destroyed himself and his little pissant brand. Dana White is destroying the UFC, a huge company. What needs to happen is Dana White needs to be fired. There needs to be a class action lawsuit filed against Dana White. Dana White will be found guilty. You have to pay all these people. He should be fired immediately. That's number one. Number two, someone needs to take the reins at the UFC. It doesn't have to be this person is the guy at first. It can be several people until the dust settles. But immediately, Dana White needs to be fired from the UFC. Immediately. And the second thing that needs to happen is these rankings. The UFC needs to have a tournament like Bellator. And they need to get these rankings straight, because you have guys that are ranked 14, 15, 12 that are better than the guy that's ranked number 2. And they're active fighters. The UFC should be about the best fights the best. But what it's turned into is a pay-per-view freak show. It's a pay-per-view freak show. If something happens to one freak, it blows the show. Fuck a pay-per-view. Fuck Dana White. Fuck all this. The UFC used to be real. That's not real. It's run by a bitch. It's run by a stabbing bitch. Is what it's run by. Piss on Dana White and piss on Conor McGregor and piss on this dick riding culture. MMA, this is not what fuck it, man. This is the perfect time for Bellator, for Scott Coker. This is see Bellator has been coming on strong and won championship, and here it is. Dana White has shit on MMA, and it's time for Scott Coker to crush the UFC. It's time for the UFC to be crushed. All the fighters are disgusted. They will all be willing, to move to another organization. And instantly Bellator takes over UFC. No, Bellator's free. One championship is free. That's it. Dana White has just crushed the UFC. He shit on the UFC. Fuck a pay-per-view, fuck Dana White, and fuck the UFC. Fuck the UFC. Dana White's just shit on MMA. The best fighters can go fight in other organizations. MMA fans, real MMA fans are disgusted at the way the UFC's ran. And it's got so much potential. It's got so much potential. It's just the way Dana White runs it. They make enough money off the advertisement and the merchandising, and Dana White, he mistreats every fighter. He hinges everything on one, it's a popularity contest. It's just a bitch. It's a fucking bitch. He's just a fucking bitch, and he's running the UFC. He's running the UFC. This is it. Class action lawsuit. Class action lawsuit against Dana White and the UFC. And Bellator's gonna, these fighters are like, what the hell? You see all those fighters posting that, those UFC fighters posting that shit. It's not about John Jones. It's about it's about John Jones being a dirty piece of garbage. Everybody knows he's a criminal piece of shit. Hit a pregnant woman, got outrun, Dana White said John Jones would never headline another UFC, and here he is. And Dana White gives a shit about John Jones. He gives a shit. That, this is a power play, and Dana White's gonna lose. He's gonna lose. And Conor McGregor's the NSAC is not gonna show Conor McGregor any leniency. They're going to stick it to Conor McGregor's ass. The Nevada Attorney General already said Conor McGregor committed a crime. That's it for Conor McGregor. And that's it for Dana White. And that's it for, and that shit that went on in New York, it's going to come out that was all staged, that Dana White was part of it, and that's why Dana White acted fishy. All this is going to come out now. You see, you screwed Vegas, man. You talk about mafia dudes, you talk about mob dudes and all that. Listen, Dana White, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people are affected by Dana White's bitchness and his little power play bullshit, whatever the hell he's up to right here. Because this right here cost a lot of good people a lot of money. And Dana White, we will refund the price of the tickets. Motherfucker, you're going to refund more than that. You're going to refund some airfares. And you're going to refund a lot of shit. And you're going to do a lot more explaining. And this is all a sack of shit. And this is the end of the UFC.